Welcome to the Bounty0x podcast. I'm your host, Angelo Adam, founder and CEO of Bounty0x. Bounty0x is a decentralized bounty hunting network powered by the BNTY token. Today is August 3rd, 2018, and my guest on the show is Martin Bratuskins. Martin is COO of Monetizr.io. In his role, he's responsible for global operations and customer success. He brings over 5 years experience in building companies, customer and partner success, and in e-commerce and others areas. Martin plays a leading role in Monetizr, helping to move the company to the USA, onboarding major game studio customers, graduating the world's leading business accelerator Techstars, and spearheading efforts to enable developers to drive engagement and revenue. Monetizr.io is a blockchain game reward engine which rewards gamers with tokens for playing time and skill and increases engagement and revenue metrics for game developers and brands. So, Martin, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Angelo. Thanks for having me.
So, the gaming industry is a massive $138 billion industry. There are over 2 billion gamers. Ages range widely, and there's a huge market. So how is Monetizr capturing this massive gaming market?
That's a good question. So what we have been doing for the last 2 years at Monetizr is, but the approach that we chose is to work with game developers and actually integrate our solution, our technical solution inside their games, because that in our view, that is the best way how to address gamers themselves. So we add game by game. So currently we have 30 games on our platform already. Through these games, we are currently reaching 10 million gamers, 10 million active gamers that are playing those games. And by adding more and more game developers on our platform, we're planning to reach a ever increasing number of gamers this way. And that enables us to also have quite a lot of control about the experience that they have and make sure that they address the game developers' needs, that we address the gamers' needs. And then also in the future, we'll be able to address the needs of brands and different kind of companies that are advertising products inside games and make it into a much more seamless experience for everyone.
So you're already in 10 games being used. So the engine is currently active in 10 games.
It's 30 games already.
Oh, okay. 30 games. Wow. So that's quite a bit. And so when was the first one, and how long have you guys been launched since you had the first game that you implemented?
So we started the company back in 2016. So actually before onboarding any customers, we did a lot of customer development. We went and talked with more than 500 game studios with different sizes to kind of understand their needs and understand exactly how we can add most value for these companies. And I'm happy to say that basically the Monetizr's product is a product of collaboration from a lot of different game developers. And once we had done interviews and understood the needs and the business problems and different kind of other problems for these game developers, we came back to the drawing board and we created an MVP, a first minimum viable product back in 2016. Started with the small studios. Of course, the first studio was the hardest to get onboarded because there were no processes, and it was a discovery thing for us as well. But then as we had the first one, it showed good results at the first good case study. Then there was the second one, then the third one. And then with each studio, it becomes easier and easier to onboard a new studio. And right now, the process is already very well understood and improved by us and also our mentors from these Techstars programs and 500 startups and others that are in our community. And we do keep improving, keep onboarding bigger and bigger studios. But it's all very exciting, and I think that's the way how we're going to reach. First, our next big milestone is 50 million user reach, then 100, and then more, obviously.
So this dovetails into the answer you just gave. So what is the story for Monetizr. Tell me a little bit about how the company started and how all the co-founders met and how you decided to start this company and where the idea came from.
Basically, we all of us had struggled with monetizing apps before Monetizr. So we had built each of us separately, each of the founders separately had our own startups. I had like an app which was like a collaboration app for creative businesses. We reached quite significant usage numbers, but we started thinking and focusing on monetization way too late, and so that didn't work out because of this. My co-founder Andris, who is the CEO of Monetizr, had a similar experience, and our third co-founder Rainis, who is the technical guru in our company, he had both this experience, and then he also had built blockchain-enabled and cryptocurrency-enabled products already back in 2013. So we met when we were working for one company. And
which company was that?
It was a European merchandising company. And so we met there, and then we started kind of experimenting with different kind of technologies, with different kind of things that we could do. In the beginning, it was just like almost for fun. We met over the weekends and kind of experimented, and then one iteration led to another.
So this was 2013?
No, it was October 2016 when we officially started the company. And then we started, when we saw that we have good feedback from the game studios that we had started reaching out to, we saw that there's a need here, and there's a big need that needs to be addressed. Then we applied to multiple accelerators, because like we are all coming originally from Europe, from Latvia, which is a small country in Europe. And we knew that even though the European market in general is bigger than the US market, it's very fragmented. The US market from that perspective is much more similar and much more united. So you have one currency, one language, very similar like legal things throughout the states. So that's why we knew that the US market is the first big market that we want to address. So we started applying to different accelerators, which would be a way to get there, get the first bigger customers and so on. So that's what we did. We applied to multiple accelerators, went the typical startup route, got accepted to a few accelerators, found out which one is the best, joined, and came to the United States, started really like to take the business to the next level.
Yeah, so you joined some accelerators, and Y Combinator, right, was one of the accelerators that you joined?
So we have had the first accelerator was called UpTech. It's one of the top 30 US accelerators. It's a rather a smaller one, but at that point in time, it was really exactly what we needed. It gave us the right attitude, the right first connections, the right thinking about the product and how to improve the product and how to get the customers on board. Then after this one, there was this startup school by Y Combinator, which we also participated in. And then we got accepted to Techstars, which had been our kind of like our goal accelerator for accelerators.
Yeah. So why was Techstars your goal? What was unique about that one that really made you excited about it? And when did you guys hear that you guys were announced or accepted to it?
So we met the managing directors of Techstars Atlanta. Techstars Atlanta is the program that we went through. We met the managing directors. That was in Cincinnati, Ohio, where we met them. And so I remember we were very excited when we got the meeting. And then there was a very, very long and pretty tough process. I think there were 6 stages of interviews where for each stage we had to prepare different kind of materials. Like they were doing their due diligence, I mean, in a very deep level for each of the processes, for everything that we have done, also for our future plans. And then in early 2017, we went through all this process. It took a few months, but then we got accepted and we went through the program, and that was the best thing ever. And why Techstars, you asked? I don't know, for us, Techstars had always been kind of like one of the best accelerators that we wanted to go through. First of all, it's because it's very, very highly rated. It's one of the top 3 accelerators in the world. Second of all, it has a huge network of the Techstars network is very, very huge, and it's also very global. There are thousands and thousands of mentors, investors, people that can, and not only in one specific geographic area, but all throughout the world, because they have programs, like multiple programs in the US, in Africa, in Europe, they also have a program in Dubai. So there's, this network was one of the main things what made Techstars so, basically so desirable for us, because they can open a lot of doors, and they can open these doors very quickly. And that's exactly what we needed at that time.
Mm-hmm. So you went through Techstars and graduated, and how long was their program?
The Techstars program was a 3-month program. And that was, Techstars, because of Techstars, we relocated to Atlanta, Georgia. And we have been there ever since, because Atlanta was like, it created a good home for us, a good hub. So we decided to stay there.
So after you graduated, what developments did you make on the tech side while you guys were with the incubator working with Techstars?
From a tech side, we have always been improving the product from a technical side. And not only from the technical side, of course, but that plays a big part, of course. So the first product which we launched during the first, I think that was the end of 2016, we launched our first product. Looking back, it was very simple, and but it worked. We got the first customers with that product. We got the first sales. We reached our first milestones. We proved with numbers that the product works. We proved that the market is there, that the need is there. We learned a lot from it. And then during Techstars, we improved it a lot. We created a whole new version. We made it safer. We added support for the newest iOS versions, Android versions. I remember we added support for iOS as it came out. Even before it came out, we were already ready. And now, for example, the next version that is currently in the works, we're working on a multi-language support, multi-currency support. Like basically, we have a step-by-step process which we're taking in terms of development. We're listening to our customers' feedback. We are very blessed with some customers who are very actively involved in the development process. Some customers really help us in terms of also writing code for them, customizing the technical side for themselves, but also making it in a way that we can use it for others. So improving our product, essentially.
So did you get your first game design studio on board after Techstars or before Techstars?
That was before Techstars. Techstars is kind of like what Techstars is best at. It's helping you scale and helping you really take the company to the next level. So it's you have to have a product. You have to have some kind of numbers, some working numbers. You have to show and have proof that when you scale this, when you open doors to these bigger game studios or whatever kind of customer you have, you can do it. If they open the doors, you will be able to service that customer. So that's what Techstars is for.
And so now you have a number of high-profile advisors and team members who are involved or associated with some major game studios like Zynga,
yes,
and Activision, Blizzard, EA, which are all like major names in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
And so those were able to join. You got in touch with them through Techstars?
Yes. So we did. Not only through Techstars, but I would say that it was during Techstars or after Techstars, because so first of all, yes, some of them, we got connected with some of them through the Techstars network, and with some of them, we just, sometimes it's hard to explain how you meet people and how you get to the right people, but it's just a matter of knowing who you want to reach and then doing everything you can, using all your connections, all your networks, all your communities to get to that person. And that's exactly what we did.
So up until this point, you guys, when I say this point, I mean, I'm tracking from the time you guys graduated from Techstars. And when was that exactly? Was that in 2016?
We graduated Techstars, I think it was last October. So October 2017.
Okay, so you had formed the company about a year prior and started working on it. And so you're a year into it, you graduate. And then you guys, up until this point, have not raised any funds from any investors? Or did you guys have any angel investors? Or where were you guys in your fundraising life cycle at that stage?
So we have had one investment round before, which was kind of like a pre-seed round, I would say. It was so we got some money also from accelerators, so from Techstars. Then we also right after Techstars we raised $750,000 from like basically our Techstars network, the people that we worked closely with. They invested in us. So
that was the equity raise.
Yeah, that was an equity raise. And that's pretty much the only money that we have raised so far.
Okay, cool.
And now starting the security token sale.
Right. So you guys raised only $750 and had one like pre-seed round, and now you guys are leading up to the STO, the security token offering, and that's coming up, and the date for that is set for when?
So right now, currently we are in the private sale phase. We have already, so that has already been started. We have, that's the phase that we are in right now. And then in September, we're going to start go from the private sale into like a public pre-sale. So that's planned for September.
Okay. Got it. So maybe we should talk a little bit about how mobile ads are, how they degrade the game experience. So if anyone has played any mobile games, they notice that there frequently are ads embedded in the game, and you can usually pay a premium to remove the ads. And what is the problem with that model?
So the problem is that first of all, the gaming experience suffers because then you get these unrelated interruptions. No one likes to be interrupted when they're doing something, and especially if the interruption has no connection to what you're doing whatsoever. So we have been talking, besides talking to customers and investors, we have also been talking to different companies, different brands that are the ones that are buying these ads. And what big companies from the Atlanta region, for example, that we have talked to, like I'm not going to say the names, but there are some of the biggest ads in the world. What they are well aware of is that this emotional connection between the gamer and the brand is not like, it's a negative emotion when you're doing something and then you suddenly see an ad of, you get interrupted in your gameplay. It's not this moment when this ad pops up, it's not creating a positive emotion towards that particular brand. We know that the game developers don't like it. We know that the gamers don't like it. And we know that the brands are also not very fond of this approach. And we also see this in numbers because many of our customers are saying that the ad rates, that the money that they actually get for showing ads is going down every year, steadily down. We have even heard some companies say that they cannot fill all of the ad spots in their games, which is a metric that should be, you would expect that the fill for ads would be 99.999%, but it's not the case. So I think that's clearly shows that the industry is looking for an alternative. And one alternative that Monetizr is developing is this native integration of products and brands inside the game. So don't think about a pop-up ad that pops on top of your content, but think about not ads, but product or brand placements that are integrated into the gaming experience. So that, for example, the brand actually helps you or provides you with a reward or something that you can use inside the game to be better at the game. So that, again, think about an ad creating negative emotions towards the brand and a brand helping you advance in the game. A positive emotion for sure.
So let's break that down a little bit. So when a user is playing the video game, instead of showing them an advertisement, which, as you say, degrades the experience, the alternative is to give them a reward for unlocking certain achievements.
Yes, and then these achievements and these rewards can be sponsored by brands. So imagine like even branded tokens or like these game currencies that you can earn by playing the game. The brand gets their brand exposure. You see the particular brand that is not advertising but buying this brand exposure inside the game. You get exposed to the brand. Of course, it has to be contextually correct with what the game is. So you can't have totally two conflicting brand and the game experiences, but essentially the brand helps you advance inside the game. And that's exactly what we're after. And that's what, from having conversations with some of the world's leading brand companies, that's also the direction where they're looking at.
So what would be like a concrete example of how that would work, how it does work in games now that you're working with? So can you give like a concrete example of that?
So the branding piece is actually the third step of Monetizr. So the product that is already running and live with our 30 game studios is where we reward gamers with game branded products. So think about game branded shirts, hats, hoodies, and different kind of like merchandise products that are game related, that are high quality, and gamers can unlock them right inside the game and also get them right inside the game. The next step for us is adding this token model and this mining model, where we can enable gamers to earn these rewards for free by playing the game. So essentially, we reward them with tokens for playing the game, and then they can exchange these tokens to these physical products right inside the game, or if they choose to, they can even exchange them to Bitcoin or Ether or other currencies and kind of get some real life value out of these. Recently, just like earlier today, we launched a partnership with a company called Digital Town, which will enable gamers to spend their Monetizr tokens that they earn through the games in real life physical local stores. So you'll be able to play your game, reach a certain level, get a reward in tokens, and then go to a coffee shop and spend those tokens for a coffee. So that's already in the works. And then the brand model is that, think about companies like Nike or Adidas or Under Armour that are, for example, producing basketball shoes. These kind of products can be used inside basketball-related games to reward gamers with.
Interesting. So when is the date for the launch of the cryptocurrency mining portion of the app?
So we are currently in a beta testing phase of this feature, which will be seamlessly added to our current technical solution. So all of the participating game studios will be able to switch or go to the next version very, very easily. We are planning to have these tokens minted and distributed to the game studios by the end of this year. Okay.
And so have you guys, what is the strategy that you guys are going to be implementing to, I guess, combat this trend now with the app stores not allowing cryptocurrency mining apps?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So the cryptocurrency mining piece, that's primarily focused on desktop devices, and we're talking with also the manufacturers of console devices to be able to provide the mining piece also inside console games. But obviously, for a PC or a console is much more effective in mining cryptocurrencies than a mobile device. So that's why it makes much more sense on a console or a PC device to mine cryptocurrencies while the game is running. And then we use this generated value to reward gamers and also create a whole new revenue stream for game developers.
And so when you heard about that recent decision by some of the major app stores to not allow cryptocurrency mining in mobile apps, did that come as a surprise to you, or did you expect that?
It doesn't come as a surprise. Of course, I wish that, I hope that they will create ways for people to do that in the future. But I totally understand why they did it, because at Monetizr, we are always, everything that we do towards our customers, investors, partners, whoever, we are supporting transparency and being honest in whatever you're doing. And the main reason why they banned cryptocurrency mining is that some apps had been mining cryptocurrencies in the background without the user's consent. So the experience for the gamers and the users of those apps was degraded because they were maximizing the cryptocurrency mining. So that ended up to the device becoming slower because all of the CPU was used for crypto mining. That also had a negative effect on the battery life, on the heat of the device. So that created not a great experience for the users. So that's the main reason why they banned it, and I totally understand that. But I think if you can find a way to have everyone incentivized and, of course, doing it transparently, you can find a way how to make this work also on mobile devices, I think.
So you briefly mentioned previously the three components of the game reward engine. So you have the wallet, which is for gamers. Then you have the game optimizer, which is for game developers. And then you have the brand autopilot, which you heard. So so you have these three product categories, and tell me a little bit about each of these components of the ecosystem.
Yeah, that's also a very good question. So what we realized is that having gone through these accelerators and having learned from basically the best people in the world how to launch products, how to achieve your business metrics, we understood that we shouldn't try to do everything at the same time, which usually leads to nothing being done ever. So that's why we divided our product we divided into three categories, like you said, the Monetizr wallet, brand autopilot, and game optimizer. We did it so that we can launch each of these sections one by one. So the Monetizr wallet is the first one that is going live with the minting of the tokens. That's going to be the part which will enable gamers to earn tokens for playing their favorite games. And this is going to be all about making the infrastructure level for games to use Monetizr as a reward engine. So gamers will be able to earn tokens. And then the game optimizer is the part which, first of all, looks at the game optimizer is the part for game developers, and that works together with the wallet piece, because the game optimizer has this component which will enable gamers to exchange coins from their wallet towards physical products in the real world, right inside the game. So that's, as you know, this part is working already. We are actually one of the first solutions that supports cryptocurrencies inside mobile games already.
So this is like a marketplace, basically.
Yeah, a marketplace inside a game, inside multiple games, which enables you, gamer, to buy a game-related physical product inside the game. And that's what is already running inside all of our participating games. And with the launch of the Monetizr wallet at the end of this year, we will upgrade this solution, this existing technical solution, to accept Monetizr coins, Monetizr tokens for all these products that we have already, and that is going to be the first step to providing gamers with the chance to use their tokens towards physical purchases.
So in the current system that's implemented in games, what is being used as the currency to purchase these in-game rewards or with?
Yeah, in the current version, we support US dollars. We support also Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. These are the currencies that we currently support.
And do users need to create an account with Monetizr in order to make the purchases? And how do you make that like a seamless experience for the user? Like, do they earn those US dollars and crypto in the game, or do they need to deposit it into the wallet in the marketplace in order to make the transaction?
In the beginning, everything happens very seamlessly. So the gamers, if they have an account with the game, so they don't need to create any extra accounts. That's a part of the MTZ wallet, the Monetizr wallet. That is coming as a bundle for game developers with our SDK. SDK is the software development, stands for software development kit. That's like the technical piece of code that we give to game developers to implement. And all of this comes together with this SDK. It's packed inside so that gamers don't need to do any extra things or any extra actions in order to start earning tokens. Now, when they want to exchange those tokens towards physical products inside the game, that's okay. But at the point where they will want to either, exchange the tokens to Bitcoin or Ether or other currencies, or take these tokens across multiple games, that's the moment when they will have to register. Only then. Until then, everything happens exactly the same how they already are doing it with in-app currencies of today. But the problem is that with in-app currencies of today, you don't have this exchangeability towards anything real. It's only this currency only has value inside that particular game. And that's the thing that we are changing with Monetizr.
Is the MTZ token that you're using in-game the same token that you're offering during your STO?
No, that is, we have a dual token structure. And why? Is because, so with the current situation in the fund, how do companies normally fundraise for these kind of crypto products is through utility tokens. But we are a US-based company. We work with some of the top leading game studios in the world, and we saw that is just not a very, very legal way and very correct way how to do this fundraising process. Because you can't fundraise, you can't use a utility token as a fundraising vehicle. It just doesn't make sense, and that's why also the regulatory bodies such as the SEC is coming after the companies that are misusing this system. So what we created, we wanted to raise money somehow. We would have done it anyways. So we decided to do it the right way from the very beginning. So we are launching a security token offering, which means that the security tokens, they are linked with the companies, that backed by equity in the company. And by buying these security tokens, investors actually get a part of the company. They get dividends that are paid based on the profit of the company. They get this secondary market liquidity from security token exchanges. And now you know that, for example, Coinbase is also becoming a security token exchange. So there's going to be a huge secondary market. And also once in the case, for example, we sell our company to a huge player in a few years' time, then security token holders also benefit from that because they basically get part of the deal because they own part of Monetizr. And then the utility tokens, of course, they are true utility tokens. They are used inside the ecosystem. They are not used for speculative purposes. They are used to reward gamers and enable them to take their game rewards from one game to another or exchange their game rewards towards physical real life products.
And so during the STO, you're raising 5 million. Is that correct?
So that's the pre-sale goal. Yes. In the pre-sale, we're raising 5 million with the security token, Monetizr security token.
And then how much are you raising in the main sale?
In the main sale, we're going to raise 15. So, including all of the parts of the sale, that brings the total up to $21 million.
And so 5 and does the pre-sale have a discount?
The pre-sale has a 15% bonus.
And so how much combined, what percentage, what valuation are you raising?
So the valuation, it depends on the stage which you are participating in. For example, the pre-sale is, I think, at $25 million valuation. I'd have to double check the exact number, but I think it's 25, yeah.
So you're selling, so what percentage of the company are you selling, assuming?
So the total throughout all sales, we have tokenized 33% of the company's equity. So that's the total amount that we have currently tokenized. We want to tokenize all of the equity in the future, but since we have, from our previous rounds, we have some investors who are more traditional and not yet ready to go into the token space. We didn't want to try to push them and educate them and get them to make a decision that they want to make at point. So we just decided to offer them to, they can have their equity for now, while we think that the security tokens are much better for investors as well, because obviously investors can liquidate them much faster. There's much more opportunities to liquidate your investments if they're in security tokens versus equity. So that's about that. And question, yes, we have tokenized 33% of the company. We are selling it as security tokens, and the total in the last phase, the valuation will be around $60 million if you do the math.
And your company is based in the United States, is that correct?
Yes, we're based in Atlanta, Georgia.
And what kind of security token offering are you doing? Is it like a Reg D?
It's a Reg D offering with 506C. And then we are doing a Reg S for international investors.
Oh, so it'll be open to both. So you're doing both a D and S.
Yes. Because we have a lot of interest, not only from the US-based investors, but also from Australian, also Russian and other countries. So we decided that this would be the best option.
And it's so with the Reg D, that's only open to the accredited investors?
Yes. Of course, we are following all the regulations in the United States, and then we're using in order to facilitate our token security token sale. We are using a partner called Securitize. So what we get with our collaboration with them is that we are compliant not only in the United States, but in all the jurisdictions which we take the money from, which is something that many companies forget. Even when they're doing the security tokens, they forget that they have to be compliant with the regulations in the country where you are soliciting from, not only in the country where you're registered in. So that's something to always keep in mind and not forget.
So you're offering to investors in all of the different countries and outside of those typical usual suspects countries, which usually can't participate.
Yes, of course. I mean, we are compliant there's some, even there are differences between what is considered an accredited investor in the United States versus UK versus the rest of Europe versus Australia. There are differences and legal differences. So that's why you need to make sure that you comply with all those countries. Otherwise, you can't solicit from that country.
And so that's what the service Securitize is providing. They have a platform which do users need to register through their platform in order to participate?
So it's a platform that is integrated with our website. So it's basically, it's a platform which enables companies like ours to facilitate security token exchanges, not exchanges, but sales. And they take care of the compliance things. Of course, they work together with your legal team. I always suggest to get a very good, experienced legal team and legal advice, but they are a great partner to have in this space.
And you guys have members of your legal counsels, Fisher and Broyles, is that right?
Yes, I think they have the main attorney there is Michael Pearson. He is one of the most interested people in this space about securities and selling security tokens. So I'm very happy that he's our attorney.
Yeah, that's great. So Martin, tell me where people can learn more about Monetizr.
So you can go to our website, which is monetizr.io. It's probably the best place where you can find all the necessary information. You can find links to our white paper, our customers, our investors, and reach out to us also through the website. You can, if you're a game developer or an investor or anyone, you can sign up and reach out to us. And then we will reach back out and then talk to you guys.
Great. So my guest on the show today has been Martin Bratuskins, COO of Monetizr.io. Martin, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Always happy to be here.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Bounty Zero X podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast below. Check out bountyzerox.io, the #1 bounty hunting platform where you can complete work and earn cryptocurrency. Please consult your professional financial investment and tax advisors before making any investment in initial coin offerings. Bounty Zero X does not provide investment or financial advice and does not endorse or recommend investment in any ICOs advertised on the Bounty Zero X podcast or website.